We say every day in the Shema, you shall love the Lord your God with b'chol levavecha, b'chol nafshecha, b'chol miodecha, with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of your, some say might, but it's also translated as possessions, with all you have, with all miodecha, with all that you've got, all your possessions. And today on Daf 25 of Pesachim, we get the question, why do we need to be told with all of your soul and with all of your possessions? Do we need both of those? And the Gemara answers, yes, we do, because there are people out there who value their soul much more than they value their possessions. So you might think we only need to say soul, but there are also people who value their possessions more than they value their soul. And it's a whole way of looking at the world. And we say, for instance, that if somebody comes into your house to steal under certain circumstances, that person is willing to kill, to steal, because they know that nobody stands by and allows things to be stolen from them. We value our possessions so much that we would literally get into a violent tussle that might lead to death in order to protect them. That's how much importance we put on all of our possessions. And we see people who spend their entire lives, get themselves in very depressing places in order to be accumulating more and more stuff. We don't necessarily see them prioritizing their soul over their money and saying, okay, this is how much I need to work in order to be living. How can I be putting the rest of my energy towards things that are going to enrich my life, enrich my soul as much as possible? We see, if we actually look at our lives, how much energy we put into our possessions versus how much energy we put into our souls, that oftentimes the possessions seem to win, and we seem to put more energy into improving our stuff than we seem to be into improving our spiritual life and our health and all of these things that go into enriching that soul power. So we say, you know what, it is entirely legitimate to say that some people prefer their money to their life. The old question, guy sticks a gun in your face and says your money or your life, and you say, well, can I think about that for a moment? So I just want to leave you with that question. Where do you put your values? The Gemara is saying that it is entirely legitimate to have both, because we have a range of how much people value their souls versus how much people value their possessions. So I just want to ask you to sit with that question for a moment. How much do you value your soul versus how much do you value all that you have? And it's really a continuum. And I think none of us are completely soul people or completely possession people. But where are we on that continuum? And more importantly, where do you want to be? Can you stop and look at your life and say, you know what? I'm not exactly where I want to be. I want to be moving that over a bit to one place or another. I can tell you that I've gone through this a lot recently, that for me, after having a lot of financial struggles, I put a lot of energy for a number of years into building up a financial foundation for my family so that we'd be okay. And I put a lot of effort there. But I've realized during Corona that I was having a very, very hard time, especially with all the lockdowns we've had here in Israel. And I haven't gotten out and I haven't done things. I said, you know what? For now, I need to make strengthening our financial position a lower priority and giving my soul what it needs a higher priority. So for a long time, for years now, we've been trying to live inexpensively and be saving and putting money into passive income sources so that we'd be okay if our primary income sources, which are a little bit tenuous, were to go away. And we've recently made the shift and said, no, right now during Corona, our souls need attention. We are struggling. So in fact, tonight, hopefully, Bezrat Hashem, we're going to be boarding a plane and going to South Africa for a number of weeks. So you might see future videos with a different background behind me, in order that we can say, okay, what is something we need to be enriching ourselves and having an adventure, because we're feeling very uninspired at the moment, or we felt very uninspired these last few months when we haven't been able to leave our home and we haven't been able to travel. So, okay, let's take a trip, try to get ourselves inspired, try to get ourselves to a place where we are enriching our souls and we're getting kind of that spark of life back to a higher degree. And the trade-off is that our financial position will likely suffer relative to if we just stayed home and spent little and saved. So there is this continuum, even for us rabbi types, and I'm trying to learn and I'm trying to make videos. But even for me, my possessions sometimes take priority over my soul. My possessions, sometimes I've been saying, okay, I won't do exactly what is going to light me up because I want to be building a stronger financial foundation. So we have all this continuum. Where are you on this continuum? And most importantly, where would you like to be? And what shifts do you need to make in order to get yourself there?